Hey guys, this is Anita. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my review of Fires of Heaven by Robert Jordan, fifth book in Wheel of Time series. Same as first four books, this will be spoiler review. So if you haven't read this book, I would advise you not to continue with the video. My experience with this book is very similar to book 4. Actually, that's not true. I do have same issues with pacing and female characters are getting worse and worse. But the more time I spent away from the Shadow Rising, I'm liking it more. The world building we got from that book, the early history and Rand's character development and Perrin's arc, entire Two Rivers arc, I loved it. And the more time I am spending away with it, I started appreciating it more. But as of now, I don't have the same kind of appreciation for this book. It does have some good elements, but because of how they were executed, I did not enjoy them much. Let's start with the beginning. Sion, Lyanna, and Min are traveling through Cold Springs after escaping from Tarvalon. They burn a barn and they get caught, and we meet Gareth Bryne there. He is the head of that area. To escape from severe punishment, they all take oaths to serve him. But during the transportation to Bryne's house, they get escaped with the help of Logain, and Bryne decided to leave his responsibilities and start following these girls, which is weird for me. I understand the intention of this entire arc. Once Bryne reached the destination, actually Sion and the girls travel to Salidar to meet Aes Sedai. The Aes Sedai who escaped from Elida in the last book are right now in Salidar. They set up a camp there. So through Sion's old contacts, they reached that place. Bryne also, by tracking them, by following them, they reached. I understand that these Aes Sedai who escaped, they need lot of support to take Tarvalon back. They need their own army. They need someone to command that army. That's where Gareth Bryne comes into the picture. He can be their general and rise the army. That's actually perfect setup. I like that. I understand that. But I did not like how he got there. If he had recognized Sion as the Amyrlin seat and followed there to understand what's happening, I would have understand it. Or if Sion is a Teverin and she has that pull, if she has that control over Bryne, I would have understand that. But following them just because he was attracted to Sion did not make sense to me, especially when he was heartbroken with Morgase. He isn't even a teenager, he's well into his 50s. Anyways, let's not look into that deeply. He follows them and reaches Salidar and makes a deal with Aes Sedai. What surprised me more was Aes Sedai's treatment of Sion and Lyanna. I mean, they treat her actually nice. They were kind to her. They are willing to support her, provide her with food and room to sleep. But that's how they treat with Min as well. They ask questions and that's all. Sion may not have power now, but she's very intelligent and she knows things. They can actually use that information to make future plans. They can take her advice, but they did not get that idea until Sion practically begged them. I understand that Sion is a manipulator, so they're wary of her, but they can still listen to what she tells and they can consider her advice without completely dismissing her. At least that's how I would have done. So that entire dynamic is little weird to me and something I cannot relate. Let's move on to the main storyline. I did not plan this to be a rant review, so let's talk positives. Again, Matt's arc is my favorite of all. I usually don't like a reluctant hero trope, but Matt's arc is that trope done well. Maybe because of how most of his reluctance was internalized, he thinks to himself how he doesn't want to be close with Rand or Aes Sedai and he wants to leave. He doesn't go around and snap at people, or maybe he does not actually have followers until this book. After the battle in this book, he did get some followers, or maybe already my perspective is biased because I already liked Matt. I don't know what's the reason, but I did not mind that reluctant hero trope in Matt. When Matt goes to Rand's tent to tell him that he's leaving, he finds there alone with the map. So he considers the map and talks the strategy of the battle. That was actually one of my favorite scenes in this book. I also like that Rand recognizes Matt's talent and he knows how to handle Matt. He doesn't pressure Matt into staying back. Matt starts to leave after that, but on the way he sees that their army was about to get ambushed, so he decides to lead them, and he is the one who kills Couladin, I hope that's the name. We don't see him actually get killed. That happens off page. We see the scenes after the battle where people are ready to follow him, and Matt realizes that people treat him as hero. That whole thought process is hilarious. Later when they are in Camelin, his girlfriend, I'm totally blanking on the name, attacks him. Actually, I did not expect her to be a dark friend. I did not trust her. Obviously, she approached Matt directly. I thought she is loyal to Shido. I mean, that's the clan she belonged to, if I remember correctly. So I thought she's betraying Matt, maybe by giving the strategies or something. I did not think that she's a dark friend. Again, Matt's luck saved him from her attack and he kills her. That was actually a sad scene. Something snapped in Matt at that point. He was really sad that he had to kill this girl. He realizes that he cannot escape from the wheel or destiny, whatever the crap. He resigned himself to his fate. He decides to follow Rand after that. Coming to Rand, I don't know where to start. He has an interesting dynamic going on with Asmodean. It looks like he is learning something from Asmodean, but I am not sure what he has learned. But I do remember Asmodean helped in the battle with Shido. In the beginning, when they were still in Rhuidean, he gets attacked by Darkhounds. Immediately after that, he goes for Matt because he realizes that Matt also gets attacked by the same Darkhounds. I really liked Rand at that moment. These small moments where we realize Rand is still the same Rand from Two Rivers. I like these small scenes. So Rand uses Balefire against these Darkhounds. That's when Moraine tells him side effects of using Balefire, that it erases past or moves time backwards. We do see that effect at the end when Rand goes after Ravine. Matt and Avienda gets killed, but when Rand uses Balefire against Ravine, they are back to life again. But this going back in time unsettles me. I don't trust this process. I don't think it's always a good thing come out of that using of Balefire. I am sure there will be other consequences. Maybe for one of the Forsaken comes back to life, something negative will happen, or that's how my mind works. I am wary of that power actually. Rand brings Isle to the mainland. They cross that bridge and come to Cairhien. We see that Shido is destroying all the villages and they are trying to attack the Cairhien main city, and Rand along with his Tyrian lords prepare for the battle with Shido. We don't see the actual battle, we see their strategies, we see the entire setup, but actual battle happens off the page. I don't understand Jordan at all. All main scenes, battle scenes happen off page, but he talks about women's clothing all the time. Every female character, when they fold hands, he mentions that she folded hands under her breasts. We know, doesn't matter man or woman, our bodies are designed that way, our elbows are placed that way. When we fold our hands, we fold under our chest area. Folding hands is a simple act. It doesn't have to be sexualized by mentioning breasts every single time. Coming back to battle, we see Rand having spent all his power. He was tired, he couldn't even see properly. That actually brought me off the flow. I thought maybe Rand thinks back, then we'll see that actual battle, but we did not get that. Jordan takes this telling not showing trope to a different level. He sets up the scene, do all the work to show us and then he skips and tell us what happened. That happened with Matt and Couladin scene 2. He sets up the whole scene. Couladin and his soldiers were coming to attack Matt. Then we skips ahead to the end of the battle. Anyways, the battle is over and they reach Kyrian and they all started playing that game of Kings, Game of Thrones. So Rand tells them that he have other plans for the throne. Let's talk about Moiraine. First of all, Moraine's death was not unexpected. There was foreshadowing in book 3 or book 2. She tells Lan that she planned for Lan to go to some other Aes Sedai. That's when I thought Moiraine will die soon, but I did not know which book she died until I got this book from library. I read the copy where Moiraine is on the cover. I'll put that on the screen. Immediately after seeing that cover, I knew that Moiraine will die by the end of this book, and Jordan gave us hints throughout the book. Moiraine kept saying, I need to help before I go or before I die. It was very evident by the actual scene. It was not at all a surprise. Rand actually wasn't listening to Moiraine, wasn't letting her help. Moiraine actually had to say that she will serve him. She bowed down to Rand's authority. That was actually sad. I agree with Egwene and Lan here. They were also angry and I was also angry. Rand may not trust her. I understand that Moiraine kept secrets, but it doesn't mean that he has to be disrespectful to her. He can be respectful towards her at the same time, not trust her. Rand got to know that Morgase is dead and Ravine is occupying Caemlyn's throne. Since Morgase is Elaine's mother, he decides to take revenge and starts going after Ravine. But Moiraine stops him and takes him to docks instead. There, Lanfear got to know that Rand hooked up with Aviendha and she is furious and she starts attacking Rand. Of all the people, Lanfear attacked the only girl who is not romantically interested in Rand. Maybe I was little pissed because I like Egwene. She doesn't have much role in this book, but I like her. Moiraine and Lanfear start fighting. Rand had a chance to kill Lanfear, but he hesitates. So Moiraine and Lanfear go through the white door. I think it's the same white door Matt went through in Rudian in the last book. I think Moiraine is dead. Her bond with Lan is broken, but I don't think Lanfear is dead. I will be very disappointed if she's dead actually, because we are told that she is the most powerful Forsaken, after almost equal to Ishamael's power, but it felt like she was dead easily. At the same time, actually, we haven't met all Forsaken. We out of 13, we are told of 12. This Sermigeg, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. She was actually being set up as this psychopath Forsaken, very dangerous Forsaken. Maybe we'll see her in next few books, but I do think Lanfear will come back by the end. Anyways, I wasn't surprised with Moraine's death, but her letter was definitely unexpected. I definitely cried while Rand was reading that letter. She knew she would die, but still she chose to go to docks. That shows her courage and sacrifice. She deserves more respect than Rand gave her. Actually, to be honest, she deserved more respect than Jordan gave her actually. I wanted that to be the end scene. Moraine's death and these characters, Rand, Egwene and Lan, feeling the loss of her death. We as readers feeling the loss of her. It is a huge deal, but that's not the end scene. Immediately after that, Rand goes after Ravine. I did not like that actually. I did not care about Ravine. He came across this creepy dude who seduces women. So for me personally, Lanfear is a better antagonist. I wanted that showdown between Lanfear, Moiraine and Rand to be longer, but it was finished in few seconds, and the showdown with Ravine was longer. I did not care about that entire part. For me, the ending with Moiraine and Lanfear Rand would have worked better. I would have liked the book more if that ended well. Anyway, I want to talk about one last thing before moving to Elaine's and Nynaeve's arc. That is about Avienda and this whole igloo scene. Rand walks in on Avienda when she was naked. So Avienda opens a gateway to the other end of the world and runs away. Rand goes after her and saves her from freezing to death. They have sex, and on the way back we see Shan Shan. I don't know what is the significance of seeing them in this book. I am not sure if one of those Shan Shan women is prominent or if they will learn making gateways because of this scene, but I do think that scene plays a significant role. Maybe we will learn in future books. I continue to be annoyed with Avienda. I don't hate her for sleeping with Rand. That part I understand. He is stubborn. He has that strong pull over other people, and Avienda is spending a lot of time with him, and Rand is a decent guy. I understand her attraction, and she doesn't want to be involved with him because of Elaine, so she has that complicated feelings. So I feel for her. I understand that part. But what annoys me is her visceral hypocritical reaction towards anyone who shows small interest in Rand. Let Rand deal with those women. She goes and tortures all these Carrion women who are interested in Rand. They may be playing the game, or they may also facing the Teverin pull. I find her hypocrite. I don't like hypocrite characters. Let's talk about Elaine's and Nynaeve's arc. I did not like Elaine flirting with Tom. Initially, when Nynaeve mentioned that, I thought Nynaeve misunderstand that, and Elaine is not correcting her because she does not want to share that Tom is her mother's ex and they're having father-daughter relationship. I thought Elaine doesn't want to share that with Nynaeve. But later she admits that she's flirting with him. I was so baffled with that. And Jordan doesn't even pursue that creepy trope. Later, Elaine agrees that was stupid and Jordan completely drops the storyline. Why include that part if you're not going to continue that storyline? That doesn't make sense to me. So they join a circus to travel to this other city. I am blanking on the name, but Geredan something, the city where Masima is a prophet. They join the circus. I am totally going to skip the circus part because I don't want this to be a rant review. I did not like that whole arc of that circus owner flirting with Nynaeve and that whole dynamic. Let's ignore that. The whole prophet trope Jordan executed to perfection. It was creepy, sad, people are suffering and they don't realize that. That's what actually happens when people lose their way, stop seeing sense. I don't want to see Masima again, but I think we will see. I am actually surprised that Shinarans are still in this town. I remember them saying they came here but Moraine's contact was dead, but I thought they would go home after that. Didn't Moraine give them enough money to go home? However, I'm glad that they are going with Nynaeve and Elaine now. They have some purpose now, and we meet Galad. I like Galad actually from the first meeting, from the first time we have seen Galad. We are told that he is a bad person, especially if Elaine tells that she doesn't like him. He always do the right thing no matter. But we were never shown what actually he did. I don't like being told. I like to see their actions and draw my own conclusions, make my own judgments. So far I haven't seen anything bad Galad did. Yes, he joined Children of Light. I hate Children of Light, but I actually see this as opportunity. Now it's a good chance for Children of Light to join hands with our main characters and fight against the shadow. There is scope for that. I don't know where Galad's storyline goes, but I hope it goes in that direction. There is a chance for that storyline to develop in that direction. We see Moghedien again in Tel'Aran'rhiod. I actually find Nynaeve and Elaine stupid here. They made Brigitte spy on Moghedien. So Moghedien attacks them, and this time she wins. Brigitte comes out of the dream world. Elaine is clever here. She makes her as her warder. That is actually cool. Nynaeve actually develops more fear to Channel, but at the end she manages to leash Moghedien with the Adam Elaine was experimenting. She actually, Nynaeve helps Rand at the end with his fight with Ravin. In actually previous scene, Moghedien took control of Black Gaja, including Liandrin, and she told her to track these girls. She found her in the Tel'aran'rhiod by herself, but I thought they were tracking them in Giardian. Actually, Nynaeve and Elaine, when they were escaping on the boat to Salidar, they brought women and children to their boat. I think maybe couple of Black Aja are there. That's what I expected actually. 3 women chose to go with Elaine and Nynaeve chose to follow them. Nynaeve and Elaine studied all Black Aja faces features. They will recognize Black Aja, but there is a possibility that they would change their features and hair, but would they dare to walk into these temporary Aes Sedai headquarters? I doubt that. I completely forgot to talk about Morghese. I'm glad Morghese managed to escape from Ravin. We got to see Lini. I enjoyed Lini's interaction with Morghese, but I am getting weird vibes from the soldier helping Morghese. I mean, there was definitely focus on how that soldier was not respectful to Morghese, and Morghese realizing that. I am not sure if that is the indication to some romance between them or there is more to that soldier. Maybe he's acting on somebody's soldier. One of those two. I prefer the second one because not everything has to be a romantic relationship. Every female character has to be in romantic relationship all the time. As usual, I left Padan Fain till the end. He reaches Tar Valon and he got his shattered Loger's dagger back. I have a feeling that Elida is going to be the first victim of him. We'll have to see in the next book. I believe I covered everything. Oh, Asmodean gets killed at the end, like that actually. We don't see who killed him. I am guessing either this new psychopathic Forsaken like Semerge or the one Forsaken we are not told about. I am thinking one of them, and since it's happened secretly, I think that Forsaken's plan is to act as Asmodean to be closer to Rand. That's my theory. We don't see Perrin in this book, but I'm alright with that. I loved Perrin's arc in Shadow Rising. I like Perrin. I wonder how he'll come back to the main storyline, but I did not miss him or anything like that. I'm completely okay with not seeing him for a book. That's all I have about the Fights of Heaven. I am taking a break for a couple of months before starting Lord of Chaos. I hope that helps for me to enjoy the book more. Let me know your thoughts in comments, and please don't mention any spoilers beyond book 5. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.